Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144 chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. Greeting you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all. Reporting to you always from dimension number 5, even though it's a whole lot of other dimensions going on. Ashe, ashe. And as usual, bringing you the news to infuse if you so choose to infuse with. This is a part 2, take 2 from the post new moon in Sagittarius video that I did previous to this. And of course it got snipped, cut, because I'm still dealing with this technology, so bear with me. And I'm just gonna go ahead and continue. The part 2 post was supposed to be just about the cards, and I have some cards here that I pulled from the new moon that I want to share with you. But at first I'm going to just finish the little tip that got snipped off from part 1 in the new moon. So for those of you who didn't get a chance to watch it, this was about the day of reckoning of the soul, which is basically what the new moon was bringing. And with that, some of the things we went over, and get my notes out, is the third eye atlas bringing the cosmic messages during this new moon, as it was on the day of the new moon, which I had just found out like maybe the day before. I was going by the 20th, which it was given the day of the 19th and the 20th for those on the eastern side of the world, and the 19th for those of us on the western side of the world. And for some reason I was aligned with the eastern side, so I was prepared for the 20th, so which is why I spent my day on the beach on the 20th and pulled cards that day. However, it was really on the 19th, and it was echoing the things that we went over. 3 main things from the last video was the number of 10, the triple code of 10, where the new moon and third eye atlas was on the 19th. 9 and 1 is 10, and the new moon was at 28 degrees. The sun and the moon at 28 degrees. 8 and 2 is 10, and Mercury was in Sagittarius at 10 degrees. So there's that 10 10 10 triple code, which is guiding us right into the 10th month, being the true 10th month, being Capricorn at the winter solstice. So it was like echoing of this new beginning, sliding us home right into the next step of the new beginning, or the next set of new beginnings for the next quarter or last quarter of the year. These messages were all about bringing new beginnings into humanity. And so the second thing we went over was Black Moon Lilith, which had just entered Sagittarius on the 20th. So we see that 3-day cosmic event playing itself out. Each day there was something significant happening. Third eye atlas coming closest to Earth on the 19th, new moon on the 19th for those on the west, new moon on the 20th, and Black Moon Lilith entering Sagittarius on the 20th, which was closing out her 9-month cycle, and also highlighting to us that it was the true 9th month of the year, as it kind of paralleled our 5D calendar for those of you who have it, and emphasizing that this is a new timeline that we're shifting into. And the third day, of course, was the winter solstice. So those were what we pretty much went over. And then leading into, I was about to go into that grand mutable cross is what I was going to speak about, which was what is activating 3 parts being activated of the grand mutable cross. And the grand mutable cross is really, there are 4 houses that are mutable, 4 signs, and that's Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. And we had placements in all 4 during the full moon. So that arrow is being shot from that full moon in Gemini. And by the time of the new moon, where the moon aligns with the sun, it has now made its place in Sagittarius. So it shot back from Gemini into Sagittarius. And it was at the 3 point. Let me get my notes with that, because what it was activating in those 3 parts of the grand mutable cross, with Sagittarius being that middle point as the tip of the arrow, the top tip of the arrow, that is pointing all changes to the galactic center. So everything that was changing, pointing to that galactic center. And if you can imagine an arrow, whether you look at it like a triangle or an actual, arrowhead tip, then you can see that Sagittarius is in the middle. Let me see if I can share you like my little artwork. It ain't the best, but just to give you a visual of, if you were to look at that circle and you would see the cross in the circle, and it would be Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. So if you can see this triangle here, this is pointing, this is a tip pointing where the arrow is pointing to that galactic centers. And placements, there are 4 placements in Sagittarius, really 5 if you include Black Moon Lilith, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus. And there are 2 placements in Pisces, Saturn and Neptune. Those are the planet placements and the luminaries, the sun and the moon. There is also the nodes, North Node and South Node. South Node in Virgo over here, and North Node in Pisces. So you see there we have 3 placements including the nodes, and it's as if Gemini was here, and it's as if that arrow, this is the arrow tip, so the stem would be pulling here, pulled back from Gemini to go forward into that galactic center. So that's the motion that I'm seeing happening with the grand mutable cross. So for those of you who have placements, check it out, see where you align with it in your natal chart. I got I'm so mutable. I got a lot of placements in mutable charts. So the grand mutable cross really spoke for me. And it's activating most of us who are like shapeshifters of this time, really moving into that next. So we're shifting, most of us are pioneering and shifting into the next dimension, into the Aquarian age, into the 5th dimension, just helping us shift through time, through the 4th dimension, as the 4th dimension is time. Ashe. And so with that, the last thing that I didn't mention was the trine. Now the trine is when you have it's about the elements, so the element of fire, and there are 3 signs in the element of fire. That's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius being that fire sign. And as you can see, most of the planets are in Sagittarius, and we have Chiron in Aries, right? And so Chiron, the wounded healer, is actually harmonic when there's a trine. When there's a square, it's a little bit more tension, a little bit squared up. That's the cross. The grand cross is usually a square, but the tension is good for getting you moving, creating what we need to shift us. If we're not in resistance, we will flow more with the shift. And so the trine is more harmonic, as in all the expanded wisdom that we're getting in Sagittarius, that's really highlighting what we have been seeing, what we have been experiencing as we come to this 9th month, spiritual completion. The wounded healer, there's a harmony with the wounded healer that is allowing us to see the wounds for what they are and be grateful for what they are, and kind of coupled with Black Moon Lilith, who is that healthy, rebellious nature of freedom and liberation. So it's almost like bringing those shadows to the forefront so you can see, so you can have clarity. And that's the wounded healer wants you to, get past those wounds. And so the harmony is allowing you to see that through the expanded wisdom, appreciating the unhealed wounds that are now being healed and revealed. Right? So that is the tidbit of what had happened, what was closing out that particular video. Now the card, this is the main point of part 2, should have mentioned it in the beginning, was about the card. So this was the card reading for the cards that I pulled on the day, on the new moon, which I thought was the 20th. So let me get right into it. So first, as I sat there and asking Spirit, hey, what is it that is upon us right now? What is it that I'm sensing? And the first 2 that fell out were these 2, which is Great and Full, a root chakra card, Great and Full, and a solar plexus card, one of my favorite, Exposed and Revealed. So it was like a little reassurance, if you will, a little mini reassurance of where we are. You know, we're at a place where we're grateful, where we're filled. As I was asking the question, this answer came out and was like, there you go. It's a moment of gratitude. You're full and great in your root chakra. There's nothing to be in lack about, because you are grateful for what you have and what you don't have, but you are great and full. And what is happening in this space is that there's a lot of exposure and revelation, which is good for me. I love clarity. Exposure and revelation brings truth and clarity. So this is what is happening right now. And then we have, which it just fell, then we have this is a sacral card, beautiful uncaging. And that flew out after these two flew out, which was kind of like a 3-card reassurance of this is the outcome. This is what we're going to have. It's a sacral card, which is the emotional body. So a beautiful uncaging in our emotions, in our relationships, in any close encounters. It is a beautiful uncaging. All right, so this was a nice reassurance of what we're experiencing, you know. And so the full deck came out as this. These were the 7 cards, and the first one was feeling the world. Feel the world. And it's a sacral chakra card, that this is where we were in the recent past, whether it's past 2 weeks, 30 days, 6 months, but this is where we were. Everyone was feeling the world. Maybe the past year we was feeling the world. As Third Eye Atlas was approaching the earth, we were feeling the earth. We're feeling the quaking and the shaking and the vibrations in the earth. So this is where we were. And then where we're at present is the uncharted sea. And this is a crown chakra card. So deep into the waters. And if you can notice, there's a compass there. So we may not know while we're up here floating, but in the depths of the waters, in the primordial waters, in the cosmic waters, the map is there. So we're in uncharted, ocean, uncharted sea. And that's kind of where everybody is now. Like, we were feeling the world, and now after being suctioned out of the matrix and feeling the bifurcation bridge and the split, everything that's happening, it's like, where are we? Getting truths revealed and unveiled. We're in the uncharted seas. Where are we going? And what is being hidden from us is beyond the ordinary. So this is what we're not seeing, not because someone's hiding it from us, but it's somehow in our blind spot, and we're not seeing that it's beyond the ordinary. We're not seeing how we are beyond the ordinary, like come out of that simple, just human spectrum and go into our cosmic self and know that you are beyond, you are more than your flesh, you are more than human, you are superhuman, you are extraordinary. But it is hard. This is hard for a lot of people to see, which brings us to the obstacle, broken open, a heart chakra card, broken open. Right? And this beyond the ordinary was a crown chakra card. So not being connected, not connected to our cosmic body, and it's causing us to have an obstacle with being broken open in the heart and having that heart expansion that we need as we've just closed out the heart chakra season, moving into the winter season, which is now moving into the throat chakra season, as we are evolving through the chakras during our seasons. And so this obstacle, it's been hard because people are not seeing their extraordinary capacities. They're not seeing how to break open in the energetic body, in the heart, to transcend through this level into your upper chakras, into the next level of you. And so that's been the obstacle, getting that heart expansion that's going to take us to where we need to be in spiritual maturation. Ashe? Now, the last 3, this is the helper card, and these last 3 came upside down. So let me give it to you right side up first. This is close encounters, and this is a sacral chakra card, and this is what is going to help us, is to allow ourselves in the sacral, which is the energetic body. Hint, hint, we got a sacral chakra workshop coming up this weekend. You may want to tap in. so you can explore that sacral chakra that allows you to feel. So what's going to help us is having those close encounters, but it's upside down because it's not the way that you think. It's not just to get near somebody. It's to allow yourself to be intimate with life and with certain relationships in a way that is beyond control, that is beyond how you would want it to be. It's allowing yourself to be close regardless of, with compassion, not trying to control anyone and not having anyone control you, but have a healthy boundary, healthy relationships. This is what is going to help us to be able to get to that place of being broken open, to be able to get through that obstacle and see that we're beyond the ordinary if we can allow ourselves to have these close encounters, right? And the action step is being able to have a merry motive. And this also was in the full moon card deck. This was at the placement of what was being hidden from us. And now at the new moon, we're seeing where this is the action step we need to take. So that what was hidden from us, it's obviously it's not hidden anymore, and it's saying this is the action step that we need to take in the solar plexus. Remember, we're at the place of what? Exposed and revealed. So in the solar plexus, we need to allow the merry motives. And again, it's upside down because it's not the merry motives you think. It's not what you tell yourself is good and merry, but it's being true in your identity body and really allowing your motives to come from a place of that truth space and not what you think it is, not the fluff and the pluff and what you think is good, but from places that you may not normally consider to be a merry motive. But the question is it in integrity, and is it true to the parts of you that are willing to be exposed and revealed? That merry motive, that's the action step. So it's not quite just, all right, let me do a good deed job. It's not that type of merry motive. Is finding the true perspective of a merry motive through soul integrity, right? And that's a necessary action step that will bring us to the outcome of bearing fruit, which is a sacral chakra card. And again, it came upside down because it is not bearing fruit the way you think. It is not just, oh, prosperity and abundance the way you think, but bearing those fruits in nature, bearing those true fruits and those the true abundance that even when you don't think you have it, you recognize the abundance that you do have. You recognize this is through the sacral. So in your sacral chakra, you recognize the abundance of through emotions, through the emotional body. You allow the emotional body to guide you into this fruitfulness that you have everything you need relationally, vocationally, financially, in all ways, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, all these ways that you have these fruits of abundance. And this is the outcome. This is what we're going to feel afterwards if we have done our action step, if we have found that merry motive. And so allow this reassurance set to really take you through. Let this be an affirmation for you. Be grateful. Allow the revelations and the healings, the exposure and the revelations to happen so you can be uncaged in your sacral, so that you can be bearing fruit in your sacral, but not the fruits that you are normally looking for. You are going to find new and true fruits in a new true timeline. You are going to feel the peace and surrender to the peace and feel the liberation. Allow Black Moon Lilith to lead you into that as she enters into the next 9 months of Sagittarius, helping us to be birthed into where Sagittarius is pointing us to our galactic center and the truth in you. So that's my reading. That's the reading, the general reading. Take what resonates. Let me know how it resonates with you. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, and comment if you dare. Leave emojis, anything that can help keep the algorithms doing what they do or going. But I'm getting tired of caring about them algorithms anyway. It is what it is. The people who it's meant to be for, it will be for. So be true to you, and see you in the next up. I'm probably going to do the next one right behind this or later. So peace, love, and light.